You are watching the big story on Mirror now. I'm Amita Balachandra. Let's take a look at the top headlines. Madhya Pradesh on the boil. Fresh violence erupts at 5 different parts of the state. Centre jumps into damage control mode. PM Modi chairs high-level meet to take stock of the crisis in the state. And triple murder in Sitapur rocks the state of Uttar Pradesh. Is UP heading for Gunda Raj? And BJP MLA from UP and his supporters assault a traffic constable for doing his job. Traffic cop thrashed for asking Netas to follow lane discipline. Make private discoms pay for power cuts, proposes Delhi government. The penalties to be adjusted in your electricity bill. Shocking callousness by Bengaluru civic body. Bengaluru Electricity Supply Company removes street lights put up by residents only to put them again after a child gets raped and abandoned in the area. 7 killed and at least 35 reported injured after armed men attacked the Iranian parliament in Tehran.
कल जो मंदसौर में दुखद घटना हुई है, इससे पूरा मध्य प्रदेश शर्मसार है। माननीय मुख्यमंत्री अपने आप को कृषि पुत्र, कृषक का बेटा कहते हैं। शर्म आनी चाहिए। कोई कृषक क्या किसी को गोली मारेगा? कोई मारेगा क्या? बताएं। हम किसान हैं, हम किसानों का दुख दर्द जानते हैं, इसलिए सड़क पे खड़े हुए हैं। हम खुद किसान हैं, इसलिए ये आंदोलन कर रहे हैं। क्यों? कि हमें हमारी खून पसीने की कमाई का कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा। हमें जो मिलना चाहिए वो केवल शून्य है, और शून्य के अलावा हमें परिवार का पालन पोषण करने, पेट भरने के लिए भी काफी गंभीर समस्याएं झेलनी पड़ रही हैं। आज स्थिति यह है कि किसान को अपनी बेटी के ब्याह करने के लिए जमीन बेचनी पड़ रही है, और मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह कहते हैं कि हमारा मध्य प्रदेश कृषि प्रधान प्रदेश है, हर बार कृषि कर्मठ अवार्ड ले रहा है। ये सब झूठी बाहबाई है। केवल शिवराज सिंह झूठी बाहबाई लूट रहा है और किसानों की मौत को पैसे से खरीदकर किसानों के आंदोलन को दबाना चाह रहा है, किसानों को डराना चाह रहा है। ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा और आंदोलन और भी उग्र होगा। जय जवान जय किसान।
एमपी में हमारे क्षेत्र में जिस किसान के ऊपर प्रत्येक अगर 1 एकड़ किसान के पास जमीन है, उस किसान के ऊपर कम से कम 2 लाख 3 लाख का कर्जा है। 20 एकड़ का किसान है तो उसमें 25 लाख का कर्जा है। आज किसान की जो फसल है, किसान का सोयाबीन आज के रेट में 5,000 रूपये कुंटल बिकना चाहिए, जो कि 2,500 रूपये बिकता। आज से 15 साल पहले सोयाबीन 5,000 4,500 रूपये कुंटल बिकता था। आज जिस दिन उमा भारती जी ने मध्य प्रदेश में भाषण दिया था कि हमारी सरकार आएगी तो गेहूं का रेट 2,000 रूपये कुंटल होगा, आज वही गेहूं 1,500 रूपये कुंटल बिक रहा है। कोई ऐसा सरकार नहीं जो हमारा रेट बढ़ा दे गेहूं का। दूध के भाव नहीं है, दूध के भाव पानी से भी नीचे है।
No land for farmers anymore. That's what the protesting farmers in Madhya Pradesh are saying. A sorry state for a largely agricultural state. Now, the standoff between farmers and the government continues to worsen. Violent protests erupted in 5 different parts of the state today, with 7 dead, countless other injured. Angry protesters torched vehicles, vandalized the streets and looted vehicles on the highway. Now, the protest, which initially started in Mandsaur, has now spread to several other small districts as well. Farmers have been protesting since the 1st of June for loan waivers and better prices for their farm produce. But the protest turned violent after the police opened fire at protesters, killing 4. A curfew has also been imposed and internet services in the region have been suspended. Meanwhile, in the capital, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is facing a barrage of questions over his continued silence, has summoned a high-level meeting. Mohit joins us with more details. Mohit, tell us this at this point. I'm going to straight ask you this. The high-level meeting is happening already by PM Modi. Tell us, do you have any update on what we could expect from the centre? Could we expect some sort of announcement, considering the centre is taking cognizance of this issue now?
Well, in fact, as you rightly pointed out, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has himself taken cognizance of the matter, as the state has completely failed to take any solid actions against the protesters, against the anti-social elements who have been vandalizing the streets here in Madhya Pradesh. On the other hand, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has taken took a high-level meeting today, and with regards to whatever's been happening in Madhya Pradesh right now, in these meetings were top secretaries of different departments, and it seems that he himself would be monitoring this situation. So far we've been told that the Prime Minister has already asked the Home Minister to look into this matter, and we've been told that 10 companies of additional forces are on their way. 6 were sent earlier this morning and 4 more have been added. So in all, 1,000 more police personnel have already been sent to Madhya Pradesh, trying its best to pacify the matter. So it seems that the centre government is in no mood to further let this protest deteriorate the condition here in Madhya Pradesh, and at the same time it is trying its best to pacify the protesters. However, coming back to the state, it seems the state on the other hand has completely failed to do so. We have reports, unconfirmed reports coming in that Shivraj Chauhan also briefed Amit Shah about whatever's been going on in the state. He's also been in talks with the Home Minister. So it seems that while the state itself has not been able to pacify these protesters, have not been able to actually take any action in the matter or find solutions to this aggravating situation, it is now looking up to the centre government for help, and the same is being seen with regards to the meeting which is currently on its way.
Also, there's complete chaos in the state at this point in time. Mohit, give us some update on the internet connectivity that's completely been suspended.
Well, the fact of the matter remains that one of the first moves of the state government was to stop rumour mongering. It seems that there had been several WhatsApp reports claiming that WhatsApp was being used to promote rumour mongering. At the same time, other messaging sites and social media was also being used to do the same by certain anti-social elements. So taking the first decision in hand, the state government suspended the internet services almost in 1/4 of the state, trying to stop rumour mongering. And while it did up to an extent stop this particular rumour mongering in the state, the word of mouth, it seems, and news reports, it seems, has already agitated the farmers. Further, what affected these protests was the fact that 5 of them were killed last night, and 2 of them later succumbed to death as well. So while the death count has already risen to 7, barely cutting down the internet services would not do. The state needed to step up the police forces, had to take immediate action, but it seems the Shivraj Chauhan government has failed to do so. You have several instances of miscommunications being reported from the administration and between the administration and the police force. You have the Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh coming out and saying that it wasn't the police force which had opened fire on these protesters, and on the other hand you have the Madhya Pradesh police force top cop claiming that it was in fact the police which fired on these protesters as they had turned violent. So it seems there is a lot of miscommunication, a lot of confusion between the two parties, the administration and the police, which were supposed to work together in this particular issue. But at the same time, this confusion has led to further deteriorating of things in this particular matter. You have seen that more than 2-3 dozen vehicles have already been set ablaze by protesters. They are angry of the fact that they weren't allowed to speak up. They weren't allowed to meet the CM. They were also angry about the fact that it has been over 7 days and yet there has been no initiation from the state government so far. So it seems that all this has riled into a bigger scheme of things, and now it has turned into a movement which is now affecting the entire state.
Absolutely, Mohit, do stay with us. In fact, as we speak, there is a high-level meeting that is going on that is chaired by PM Modi along with senior ministers on the Mandsaur protest. But there is also a curious development in that protest. A video is doing the rounds in which senior police officer is seen and heard instructing his subordinates that they should use as much force as they want if their commander orders so.
आंदोलन की आड़ में बहुत सारे बदमाश तक तो उसका फायदा उठा रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो हिंदी में जान लीजिए, बलवा ड्रिल का पहला नियम है एक साथ कार्रवाई, एक साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे, एक कमांड पर चलेंगे, कोई भी आदमी सिंगल अकेला रिएक्ट नहीं करेगा। तीसरी बात ये, यदि जरा भी गड़बड़ होती है और आपको आदेश आपके कमांडर से मिलता है तो कोई उसमें कमजोरी दिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है, जितना पीट सकते उतना पीटिए, ठोकी, यदि कोई भी आदमी यहाँ बदमाशी करता है तो। ठीक, हमारा काम सिद्धांत जो रहता है मिनिमम यूज ऑफ फोर्स पर रहता है। हम लोग न्यूनतम बल प्रयोग करते हैं, लेकिन पिछले दिनों से जिस तरह की बदतमीजियां उपद्रव हो रहे हैं, कोई संकोच करने की जरूरत नहीं है। यदि आंदोलन की आड़ में यदि कुछ उपद्रवी तत्व बदमाशी करते हैं और यहाँ कलेक्टेड में आकर के गड़बड़ी करने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो आपके कमांडर के आदेश पर आप जितना मार सकते हैं मारिए उसको।
I'm going to go back to Mohit at this point. Mohit, you heard that video there. It's quite shocking that, the police officer is saying that any kind of violence, force must be used on people who are agitating. So this is also another reason why the government has suspended internet connectivity.
Well, in fact, as you rightly pointed out, the top cop is heard saying that, the police should take action against all the violent protesters. But at the same time, I must also mention that orders have been, unconfirmed reports suggest that orders have been passed from the district administration asking the police not to take any immediate action into the matter. They've been asked to maintain that, ensure that there are no more casualties reported from the area. Because the first, as you remember, the agitation grew violent, further violent after reports came in that almost five farmers had been shot dead by the police. So the district administration, it seems, is trying to make sure that it does not repeat the same mistake. It is trying, however, to pacify the supporters. But at the same time, in this particular video, as we see the top cop saying that the police can use force, but at the same time he says that only in cases the protesters turn violent. So it seems that the police is caught in between the protesters and the district administration. They do not know what to do. You have the senior police cops who are saying who are saying to the juniors that they should take an action, they should actually use force, and on the other side you have the district administration, you have the state government passing orders asking the police not to take any immediate action, not to indulge in any sort of violence, to ensure that there are no more casualties. So it seems that it's a typical case of miscommunication and confusion which has been going on here in Madhya Pradesh, which has led to almost 1/4 of the state to burn in this anguish, which now has been going on for more than 48 hours. So the fact of the matter remains that while the district administration and the government has failed completely to take action in this particular matter, on the other hand, you have the police force which is ready to take action but is not being allowed to. So it is a typical case of miscommunication and misunderstanding between the administration, between the state government and between the police.
All right, Mohit, do stay with us now. We also have Krishna Sagar Rao of the BJP joining us on the phone line. Krishna Sagar Rao, tell us this: violent protests across Madhya Pradesh, and we can't afford to have any more casualties at this point. 7 dead and several other injured as well. And this has also had a ripple effect on citizens who's for which they're having to pay extra prices on vegetables and milk supply, etc.
Yeah, Amita, it's quite unfortunate that it is happening in Madhya Pradesh. Wherever it happens, it's unfortunate, and Bharatiya Janata Party extends its condolences to the farmers who were dead yesterday. And, who has killed them, who fired is still under inquiry, because it is not established as a fact that police have fired on this violent mob of protesters. And it is also unfortunate that the Indian politics in general has come to a stage where the opportunistic politics have turned so desperate that they have
Mr. Rao, tell us this: does the centre have a plan in place? Because right now we know that there is a high-level meeting that is going on. What can we expect from that meeting?
So as I said, why center? See, the law and order comes under state government, prerogative, and it's responsibility of the state government to keep up the law and order situation in its state. And Chauhanji is not a new chief minister. He has been there for the last 12 years. He's the son of a farmer. He understands farmers' issues, and if he was not adept at it, he wouldn't be a chief minister 3 terms. He's in the mid-3rd term right now. So I think he is completely capable of taking control of the law and order situation at this point of time, and they are in control. It is just that the opportunistic politics of this country, led by Congress and its stooges, has criminalized the protests.
Why did he order firing in this state? We saw firing. There are about 7 of them who are already dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, can you imagine? Is it the first time farmers are protesting for prices and for loan waiver across the country? We know they have been protesting since 66 years or 70 years, unfortunately, because the framework of agriculture in this country need to change. The macro framework has to change. It is not about small-time initiatives taken by every government which can satisfy the farmers. That is why they're protesting. But have you seen the protesters turn violent in 5 days? Anywhere across the country, and they start looting shops. Do farmers loot shops? Do farmers torch trucks? Do farmers attack normal civilians? That is why I'm saying it is not political. I'm not saying it, I'm not trying to give it a political twist. I'm saying that there are politically motivated criminals within the protesting group. That is what is causing the disturbance.
But Mr. Rao, farmers have several demands, and BJP has also been, trying, they've been saying that they will bring about change and meet these demands, but none of them have been met.
See, farmers will always have demands. As I told you just now, the agriculture per se across the country has a massive problem, because even if their produce is high, they have a problem. If their produce is low, they have a problem. It is not an isolated incident. It is a macro agricultural issue in this country, which 66 years of Congress hasn't handled. Now, today, if we have a problem, we have to only do a band-aid kind of a initiative, which the states have been doing. Waiving of farmer loans is not a long-term solution to farmer problems. But they have to do it because these are the initiatives which is more like, a temporary relief to farmers. So, we have done it in Uttar Pradesh. Now, Maharashtra's chief minister is doing it already. Maybe Madhya Pradesh chief minister will also do what he has to do. But what I'm saying is, this is a larger issue. This is an issue which has to do with the institutional change which has to come in the agriculture and the way farmers do agriculture, both retail and institutional farming. So the problem is broad than just 2 protests or, few people dying because of criminal politics.
Saying that all of this is made up, that there aren't enough, all of the suicides that we're seeing, that's not true at all of the farmer suicides, and there is no problem. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that. I think you're not getting me, Amita. I'm saying there is a deep-rooted problem in Indian agriculture system. And if farmers are dying, it is because the Congress government till today, in the last 66 years of their rule, hasn't set up a macro agricultural system which can sustain itself and feed its farmers. It's unfortunate. An agrarian economy like India has never had a priority of agriculture. That's why we see 15% of GDP driven, contribution by agriculture. But the latest service sector has grown to 41%. So it's a sad story. It's a shame that Congress has ruled this country like this. And today, every state and whichever the party is in that state government has to face the problem. And the farmers are suiciding because they have problems where the governments are not able to support.
What is the solution, Mr. Rao? What is the solution?
See, the solution is there has to be revolutionary changes in the overall agrarian system of this country. Narendra Modi ji is already at it in the last 3 years. We have increased crop, loss compensation by 50%. Prime Minister Modi has brought in the crop insurance scheme, which was never there in the country before. Prime Minister Modi ji has also started giving more subsidies and allowed, the farm, the urea which is neem-coated urea, which is available now.
That's the question we're asking. In fact, we have Kamal Sawant of Kisan Kranti Morcha joining us on the phone line. Kamal Sawant, tell us this. आप बताइए कि आप खुश है ये सारे सब्सिडीज और इंश्योरेंस स्कीम से? क्या आप खुश है?
नहीं, ये सब्सिडी और ये हाफ हार्टेड हुआ है। हम लोगों ने गवर्नमेंट को, सीएम साहब को एक रिक्वेस्ट की थी कि आपको करना है, जब फार्मर सुसाइड कर रहे हैं तो उनको पूरी रिलीज दो। वो छोटा फार्मर, बड़ा फार्मर, ये डिफरेंशिएट आप मत करो। एक बार उनका पूरा जो हम लोग के भाषा में जो होता है कि उसका एक गटर है, वो गटर आप साफ करो। अभी ये साहब अब बोल रहे कि 60 इयर्स कांग्रेस ने ये किया, कांग्रेस ने वो किया, उसके वो देखो मैम, वो 60 इयर्स में जितने फार्मर्स ने सुसाइड नहीं किया, इतने 3 साल के अंदर किया, और ये साल में तो सबसे ज्यादा सुसाइड किया। तो किसके अंदर किया? कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट नहीं, या अदर कोई गवर्नमेंट रहेगा। उन्होंने गलत कुछ किया होता तो उसी टाइम फार्मर ने सुसाइड किया होता। अभी सुसाइड कर रहे हैं तो इसकी गलती किसकी है? इनकी गलती है। ये गलती वापस दोहरा रहे कि पुराने लोगों ने किया है। इन्होंने फुल फेज, not a small farmer, not a big farmer, they have to pay off all loans from the farmer first, क्योंकि ये गटर है। ये 4 साल से एक जगह पे इकट्ठा हुआ है। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हम लोग भी उनको रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि आप पूरा का पूरा साफ एक बार पूरा का पूरा साफ करो, और नेक्स्ट टाइम में आप वो मिनिमम प्राइसेस फाइनल करो लीगल सिस्टम से। और आप
जैसे कि आपने पॉइंट आउट किया, लोन वेवर हैज बीन द बिगेस्ट डिमांड अमंग फार्मर्स अक्रॉस द कंट्री। तो क्या वो चीज अगर हो जाएगा आपको, आई मीन इज दैट, will it ensure that farmers don't commit suicide? That will the pain be eased?
हेलो,
मेरा सवाल आपसे ये था कि अगर फार्म लोन वेवर दिया जाएगा, क्या वो बेहतर होगा फार्मर्स के लिए?
मैम, मैं वही बोल रही हूँ कि ये 4 साल 2012 से 2000 अभी तक 16-17 तक कि महाराष्ट्र में तो इतनी खराब सिचुएशन है कि 4 साल तो अकाल था, पानी नहीं था। फार्मर ने तो भी उसके बाद में लोन लेके हर बार ये किया है। कॉफ का जो कॉस्ट है वो चलो पकड़ो 100 रुपया है, और बाजार में जाता है 10 रुपया में, 90 रुपीज वो घाटा लेता है। वो 4 साल वो स्पेंड आउट कर रहा है। मुझे एक बात गवर्नमेंट से पूछनी है कि आपको मल्ला को आपने रिलीज दिया वो बैंक का इनके अकाउंट से, फिर आपको फार्मर में देने में क्या प्रॉब्लम है? इतने फार्मर्स हैं, एक इंडस्ट्री का आप इतना सपोर्ट करते हो, और लाखों फार्मर्स ये इंडिया के अंदर है। देखो 24%।
Right, Krishna Sagar Rao, respond to what Kamal Sawant is saying. They are completely saying that the government has not taken into consideration the agricultural industry at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. I completely agree with him, but he's not talking about our government. Our government came just 3 years ago. We have been doing our best to do what we can do as a central government. But having said that, this is a state government issue, and Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister is well equipped to make a decision whether he wants to provide immediate relief, immediate succor to the farmers, and how he wants to do it is his prerogative and his responsibility, and he will do it. Now, the way we have done it in Uttar Pradesh, where we have waived off farmer loan waiver for about 37,000 crores, and Yogi ji has done it right after the first cabinet meeting. So different states have different issues, and they have different methods to provide relief. They will do it by violent protests or by burning or by looting. I don't think you can accomplish anything. And one more thing Mr. Kamalji has to understand, this is a band-aid solution. This is only an immediate succor. Just by waiving loans for 1 year or 2 crop seasons doesn't ensure that you don't have any problems in the next
season. So then, Mr. Rao, tell me this. You said that UP Chief Minister has done this right. This has of course triggered demands in several other states. There's Telangana, Haryana, Punjab and Madhya Pradesh, all of the states. But there are also reports suggesting that if that happens, that's going to cost the GDP really badly. So tell us this, is there a plan in place then by the centre? How is the centre trying to broker peace?
As I told you, Amita, centre has no role in providing other than the compensation, crop loss compensation. It cannot waive off loans. It is not under the gambit because every state has a different agrarian issue. Now, it is the states which have to, because land comes under state list. It is the state which is responsible to take action. It can seek support of the center. It can take funds from the center. That's a different story. The responsibility of the agriculture and the land is the state government. So each government, no matter which party is running that particular state, has to weigh the options, has to look at their own fund availability, has to try to find solutions for the problems the farmers are facing. But what I'm saying is, are we trying to provide immediate succor as a final solution? Or are we trying to ensure that Indian farmer is properly strategically supported throughout so that he can be self-sustained and not just be an entitlement all the time trying to...
But what is the solution, and how long can these this violent protests that we see, especially in Madhya Pradesh, go on? In fact, we also have Rajiv Mishra, activist, joining us. We have just a couple of minutes left on the show, but Mr. Mishra, tell us this. आपको क्या लगता है अभी होना चाहिए? Because farmers across the country have a number of demands that they have. That includes the loan waiver.
अमिता, सबसे पहले तो मैं आपको ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि भारत जिसकी सबसे दो मजबूत जो रीढ़ जिनको बोलते हैं, जिनको बैकबोन बोलते हैं, वो हमारे फार्मर्स हैं और हमारे जवान हैं। और ऐसी स्थिति में जो फार्मर आज हमारे पेट में अनाज देते हैं, उनके सीने पे गोलियां चल रही हैं। तो ये तो बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यजनक स्थिति है कि जिनके खाना खा करके आज हमारी पूरी पीढ़ी पलती है, जीती है, उनके सीने पे आज हमारे देश में गोलियां चल रही हैं। तो ये तो बहुत ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। दूसरी एक महत्वपूर्ण बात मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि आज फार्मर की स्थिति ये क्यों है। इसके पीछे रीजन ये है कि आज एग्रीकल्चर के जो आइटम्स थे, उन सबों की कीमत बढ़ गए हैं। ऐसे में जो फार्मर्स की लागत थी खेती करने की, उसकी भी लागत बढ़ गई है और उस लागत के अनुसार उसको पैसे नहीं मिल पा रहे हैं जब वो अपना क्रॉप्स बेचने जाता है। तो अभी आपको मैं बता दूं, महाराष्ट्र में अगर आप उदाहरण लें।
So the big question is, can the country actually afford farm loan waivers across different states? Also, at the same time, farmers' suicides are also increasing. If you look at the data from 2000 to 2015, the numbers have actually spiked. In the meantime, there is also violent protests in Madhya Pradesh. There is a high-level meeting that is going on by Prime Minister Modi to take stock of the situation. We'll keep a close watch on all of these developments and bring you regular updates here on Mirror. Now with that, it's a wrap on the big story. Stay with us.